What's up, everybody out there in 420 land? This is the co-host of Two Stone Dudes podcast, Ryan Castle. The Anchor app is where I got my start, and it's been amazing being a podcast host so far because of Anchor. Let me explain. It's the easiest way to make a podcast for free. That's right, it's free. Anchor then distributes your podcast to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many more. And I won't forget about the creation tools that allow you to edit your podcast from your phone or your PC. And you can get paid with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make your very own podcast. Download the free app or go to anchor.fm.
Start rolling.
There it is.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the Two Stone Dudes podcast. This is your co-host, Ryan Castle, with
Rob the Nut.
Yeah! And our new guy, Mondo. Mondo, say what's up.
It's up.
Don't poke with me, damn
We
it.
are definitely not down. That I can tell you right
Never.
now. Not
Never
down. We got a treat for you guys for Friday the 13th. Ladies and gentlemen, we have professional wrestler Roman Alexander. Roman, how are you today, sir?
Man, I'm fantastic. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well. So there's a lot of shit that's happened to you recently since we last heard from you. By the way, you have the second most listened to podcast on my list.
Oh shit! Really?
Yep, right under Gino told you so. Yeah, Gino has like 200 more listenings.
Gino.
He's got 200 more listens than you, man. Sorry, he beat you out.
Just
he's
200.
threatening to call in tonight.
Maybe that'd be funny. So,
No, he told me he's like, you're going online tonight. I'm gonna call in.
tell him to call in. Hey, we'll give him. I'll tell you what. Text shit.
Take shit to what?
What's that?
You can call him my
All right, give him this number. Text him this phone number real quick, okay?
480
480.
228.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just giving numbers on the air.
Yeah, we're
Cool.
just giving numbers on the air, but this will be one of our lines.
All right.
This will just be one of our lines. Fuck it.
480 228
480-228
4645.
4645. So when you get is it a call from? It's going to be from a New Mexico phone number.
Yeah, I just called him right. I just texted him right now.
Okay, so that'd
Yeah,
be
he was like, maybe I'll call in tonight.
that would be something, wouldn't it? All right, so we got questions and we hope you got answers. All right.
All
All right. So, dude, you've been through everything from a demonic possession to coming to a moment with Jesus. And now you got different things going on with your wrestling career. Plus, you've turned red on us and support President Trump.
What?
Yeah.
I'm all about Trump, bro.
Right, yeah.
That's why his ass was possessed in the first place.
Nah.
Why? Why do you like Trump?
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. So let's get into one question at a time. All right. Tell us what happened with the demonic possession, dude, from start to finish.
Oh, man. So, I don't even know how it happened, bro. A lot of crazy things happened in my personal life. My ex-girlfriend, told me, I was in a relationship, as you know. Last time we talked, the last time we talked, I was in a relationship. Things were good. And things were going really well, man. And then my ex, came in back into the picture and was like, yo, come back, leave her, we'll put our family back together. So I was like, cool. So I hooked up with my ex. I hooked up with I hooked up with my ex, got rid of her, and man, it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Oh no.
And yeah, it didn't happen. You know, I got rid of this poor woman that I was with at the time, and my ex just kind of did me super dirty. She was like, yo, we'll put our family back together. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I was all about it, man. You know me, man. I'm all about a family, man. And it was like, hey, we're going to put the family back together, the kids.
You're supposed to keep the one that pays bills, too, you know.
Yeah. So I went out and I hooked up with my ex. We had a great night. And then I come home, and, man, I just did this poor girl dirty. Just kicked her out of my house, fucking was like, yo, you got to go. And then I was trying to get back with my ex, you know, to put my family back together. So, you know, she was kind of beating around the bush the whole week. Like, I'm like, what's up? Are we going to talk? Like, she's like, yeah, whatever. So we go to a regional, like COVID, the first COVID ended, you know, it was like when you could still go and do shit. So they had a little, like a comedy shit we went to. So I hooked up with Chris Evans, you know, who is my boy, you know, one of my tag team partners and one of my best friends. So we go to this comedy show and fucking my ex shows up and has this dude there.
Oh,
my ex,
dude,
my
get
ex
the fuck out of here.
Dude, no, I swear to God, brother. Who shows up, has dude there, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm so heated, dude. I just wanted to fucking go over and beat the shit out of him. So I tell Evans, I'm like, yo, man, I gotta go. So I leave, and then the next day she comes over, and she's like, yeah, well, even though we hooked up, I lied.
Oh, she lied.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, and you know, I'm one of those passionate kind of guys. So I was really hurt. And I started drinking a lot. So about 10 years ago, man, I was in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and I don't know if you've ever heard about Clarksdale, Mississippi, and Robert Johnson. But Robert Johnson was one of the first guys who ever wrote blues and talked about selling his soul to the devil.
Huh.
So I was doing some shit out in Clarksdale, Mississippi, wrestling, you know, doing the shit we do. And I was really into the folklore. And I went down to Clarksdale, and they were like, yeah, you go here, but if you go up the road a little bit, you know, you'll find the real crossroads. So I went up, man, and the folklore says that if you know, bury your ID and some bones and stuff and say some ancient Nokian cantonation, you can sell your soul to the devil.
Dude, you've been watching way too much natural. What do you call it?
Hey! I like Supernatural.
Supernatural.
I already finished watching the last episode. It's great.
Hey, man. Hey, honestly, so it's no bullshit, man. You know, I honestly believe that I went there that night and I sold my soul to the devil.
Was Bone Thugs there?
I can tell you how beautiful this woman was.
Did you at the
how gorgeous she was.
Are you fucking serious right now?
Ryan, I swear to God, bro.
He's listening.
I swear to fucking God. And so, yeah, I was out there. I went up to the farm, and it's actually right now where the crossroads are. It's actually like a tourist thing, but you go up the road a little bit, and there's actually like a cemetery where the real crossroads are. The actual crossroads are, and you go and you do the bullshit, and I honestly believe that night I sold my soul to the devil. So when I called you, 2-3 months ago, tell me I was not out of my mind.
Yeah, you were a little weird, dude.
So it was 10 years coming up to October 26th was the day I did it. So
Take that off the taxes.
it was coming up, man, and I was hearing things. I honestly was hearing voices. I was hearing growling. I was seeing shit that was crazy. You know, my poor girlfriend, she's gone through some wild shit because she honestly thinks, and I honestly think that I might have been, and I've gone to multiple pastors and stuff, and now with everything going on in my life, I've seen multiple pastors and stuff, and they think it might have been a possible demonic possession or oppression, regardless of which or.
Could be constipation.
It was coming up to where I was about a month away from the 10-year deal. So I honestly believe I sold my soul to the devil. Honestly.
Wow.
And man, I was hearing things. I was seeing hellhounds. I was hearing hellhounds. And, man, it was scary. It was honestly scary. Like, when I called you, tell me, I mean...
Dude, what did you ask? What did you ask him for? Did you ask him to go to, like, the WWE or something?
I
want tickets.
Because I would have.
I just wanted to be a good person. You know, I kind of had a good... I've had a pretty good career, you know. I just wanted to be a good wrestler, and I've done some awesome shit, man. I've done some really cool stuff. If I had to hang them up right now, I could be happy.
Right.
You know, and
I'm just saying, if you're gonna sell your soul, sorry, I'm trying to breathe.
I'm doing that good shit right now.
Oh,
Yes, I am. Listen, man, I was gonna say, if you're gonna sell your soul, at least be like, make it worth it, dude. Like, I would be like, yo, put me in the WWE, and in 10 years, I'll come visit you.
You gotta think though. When you sell your soul to the devil, they're never giving you a good deal, you know.
Dude.
I tell you, this woman she had green eyes, she had red hair, she was in a red dress, bro. Clarksville, Mississippi.
What was her name?
So, she didn't give me a name.
You didn't ask for one either.
I would say it was Crowley, but that's because I liked him.
Hey, I liked him. I liked him on the show.
So, but it gets better. It gets better. So, like, it really just got to the point where, like, I was hearing things and I was seeing things, and then my drinking got really, really bad. So I'm sure that just, invited it. And it got to the point where I honestly thought that the 7 deadly sins had consumed me.
Wow.
And, war, greed, gluttony, envy, and
sloth.
My girlfriend, my poor girlfriend, she was there the whole time, and she would tell me that there would be times she would come home, and I have no recollection of a lot of this stuff. She would tell me she would come home, and she told me my eyes looked black, and I would be in the war, and she would tell me I would talk, and it would sound like there was a third person talking, and I don't remember it, and I vaguely remember. I remember, man, is I remember being in a chair in a room, and a dark figure talking to me,
like a shadow.
Like no bullshit. Like a shadow. Like I don't know, man. It was scary. I actually reached out to a lot of friends. I reached out to Flip Gordon, Gino Rivera. That's why Gino wants to call in today, is because I called him one night hysterical, and he was like, yo, I believe you. And, there was a lot of times where I was scared, and it just got to the point where I actually had to call my father, and I was like, Dad, like, some crazy shit's going on, man. I'm scared. Like, I went and met with a friend, and he was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, the devil is coming for me. I was
Isn't that a song too?
100% thinking the devil was coming for me to to collect on his contract, man. It was very scary. It was very scary. And it was just, I would hear the hellhounds. I would come out and I would see things, and I honestly, my dad wanted to commit me to Palo Verde, which is an insane asylum here in Tucson, and I was like, really? Like, you're like, what the shit you're saying is crazy, man. Like, and I was like, well, Dad, like, this is what's going on. Like, honestly. So I was actually very scared, man. I was scared. I was 100% 100% confirmed that I had sold my soul to the devil, and those 10 years were coming up because of October 26th coming up. So I had talked to you, about a month before that?
Yeah.
And I was scared, man. I was very scared. I was hearing things, I was seeing things, and then I don't know, man. It was wild. My girlfriend tells me about all these crazy things. I have text messages that I sent her that are wild. They were wild. It was me texting her, but it was in the words of the 7 deadly sins. Like, I've never been a very religious man. Ever. Like, I just never was into it. And
that's why it leaves you more open.
All this, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been into it. Like, I just never could get into the religious side of life. Like, it was...
Got into you.
It was bullshit. What's up?
It got into you.
Yeah, it definitely got into me. So I had sent her all this crazy stuff, man. And I could go back. It'll take me a few minutes to go back and find it, but I'll probably have to pull out my other phone. But I had texted her all this crazy stuff, and it was signs of the 7 deadly sins. War, greed, gluttony, envy, sloth, all that. And it was all of their verses from the Bible. And I don't know that shit. I've never been religious up until, my recent journey. And she was like, what the hell are you talking about? And she would tell me that she would come home and she swears to God that my eyes were black. And when I would talk to her, it was almost in like a third person.
Right. All right. Well,
so,
where is she right now, actually?
She's at work. Yeah.
We're gonna have to
do this is why we had to do this. We had to do this early because Roman's got to go pick her up. So
on the show. They both should be on the show.
All right. So let's talk about your recent conversion to Christianity.
Oh, that's the best thing that's ever happened to me, man.
All right. Talk to me about it.
So, on one of those nights and the crazy stuff, she told me that they would fuck with her. Whatever was in me would fuck with her really bad. So, one night, I just had this, I can tell you vividly how it was, is war of the 4 horsemen and the 7 deadly sins. War had me in a room. And I was tied down, and just one night I was able to fight. And I talked to my little brother about it, and he was like, he's like, hey man, my little brother is super religious. You actually met him, Ryan. He was the one.
Yeah, I remember him.
So he's super religious, and he was like, I need you to talk to this guy and this guy. And I talked to this guy who was a pastor, and I sent him all these. I forwarded him all these messages that I had sent my girlfriend that I don't remember. It was crazy biblical shit, man. That you can't even imagine. There's no way. I'm not a biblical person, so I had sent him this stuff, and he's like, "Yo, bro, this sounds like demonic possession." So he was my brother's best friend, and he's out of town. So he actually had me reach out to another guy. And then he was like, yo, it sounds like demonic possession. Please come to the church. So I went to the church, and I don't know, when I walked in, it felt really tense and really weird. And he was like, we can feel it. And, it could be demonic possession or it could be oppression. Oppression is also something where when you're battling your self-demons, you let other stuff come in.
Yeah, it's like a self-conscious torture.
It's a self-conscious torture on side of depression and all this other stuff. So it's where you're doing it to yourself. So they weren't really able to tell, but the way they were hearing it, there was like, there's a good chance, man, that you might be possessed by the 7 deadly sins. So I went in there and they prayed for me, and my dude sang to me, which was, man, it was fantastic. And when I walked out of there, it was really great. And then I was really good for a couple of weeks, and then one night it just hit me, and I don't remember any of it. My girlfriend tells me that they came to her and they talked to her about the bullshit, saying that, we won. We finally had won, because I was going to give my life to the Lord, and it was about a week before I got baptized. And I actually called my pastor. I don't remember any of this. I called my pastor, and he tells me that he talked to somebody who wasn't me, but he had heard my voice on top of another voice behind me. So, they prayed and stuff, and then ever since I've been baptized, I haven't had any incidences. But it was a very scary time, man. It was very scary because I vaguely remember some of it, and when I do, it's being in a room locked up.
Do you keep a journal?
I do, actually. And it's crazy. I don't like to read it because some of the shit that's in the journal is kind of scary, man.
Honestly, I grew up in a family to where they do certain things for protection and sometimes jealousy of others. It could go either way. We just call it simple as karma. But when you add other tools to a situation, as in like right now, you have some things written down or messages you sent. For believing, because I'm a strong believer in things, I recommend get rid of it.
I believe there's evil out there, man.
Yeah, I would say
you
get
should
rid
probably
of it.
burn that journal.
Yeah. Or rip out pages that has that written, because that's just a prolonged, like a memory trapped in a box.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So now you've converted. And life is different, right?
I converted, man. I started going to church, and
Nice.
As I went to church, I started to feel like I started to feel weird, like something was eating at me. And then one night I kind of had a crazy incident where I drank. I don't remember drinking, and I picked up my girlfriend, and she told me that it was actually a different demon that had talked to her that night. It was actually envy. So for the most part, she told me she had always talked to greed and war. That war was always the one calling the shots. And she told me that she told me my voice had always changed. And it was weird that she had always changed. But one night, the voice was a woman. The final night was a woman, and it was envy.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
She told me that it was very weird, and that she told me that God had finally won, and that that I had made to check my body because I had made another deal, and we checked my body. Like one night, dude, we were in the shower. And this was the night that scared me. Is we were taking a shower, and I'm like, ow! And I have pictures of it. And she was like, what? And, dude, I had 3 slashes along my sides. I sent them to Gino Rivera. So Gino Rivera can vouch for this, Ryan.
I thought the hard water of Arizona got you.
So I had 3 slashes along my side, and I was like, what the hell? And she was like, that was not there when we got in the shower. And I was like, no, I know. So that happened. And then the final night, we've had an incident. I don't remember drinking, but apparently I drank, and I went to pick up my girlfriend, and when we picked her up, it was Envy. Envy had picked her up.
Bro, you just told the story.
It was
Roman.
It was a woman.
Hey,
Roman, you just told the story.
Roman, have you ever felt like, Roman, during the situation, have you ever felt itchy?
I feel itchy all the time, man.
Hey, Roman, do you know you're repeating your story?
No.
I do.
I got a question for you.
Hold on a second.
Has anybody done an exorcism on you, Roman?
We're getting back to the story, so let me finish it.
Okay.
So when I had picked her
This is
up,
the final night.
she told me it was her and that I had to check my body because I had made another deal to be done, but we never found anything, and then we had told the pastors and all that stuff. So then I started going to church, and then I got baptized, and we've had 0 incidents since then.
Okay.
Hold on a second, Roman. We're going to stop the recording for a second. We're going to start back up. We'll be back after this quick commercial break, everyone.
Don't move it over yet, do we?
Just stop recording. Hit stop recording.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to edit
It's
that.
weird being
All right.
It's weird being super sober, doing this shit.
Yeah.
Who is?
Yeah, you are. We're not. All right, bro. So talk to us about your new affiliation with President Trump. What got you into President Trump? Like, what got you rooting for him?
I mean, I just feel like Republicans are where it's at, man. I feel like Democrats are all a bunch of pedophiles, man. The way, when you look at Democrats, they're all, I don't know, man. Everything you see, they're all just kid touchers. It sucks. Like, I just can't.
You're not really big on politics, are you?
Not really, man.
There's plenty of stories behind.
Ryan, you of all people know we have to deal with enough politics and wrestling.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I understand.
So, the other side of things, how about wrestling?
Right. Okay. So, well, give me your thoughts on the election.
I hope with everything going on, they figure things out, and Trump is still our president. That's just how I feel, man.
Okay.
I'm a big Trump guy. I'm a big supporter of him. I've never been into politics. Going off our last interview,
He has that in common with you.
If it's Trump or Biden, I got to go for Trump.
Okay. Right. Why do you keep
Definitely.
saying that? That's not funny, Bob.
It's true.
I don't go for Trump.
I didn't say you. I was going about what he said.
Oh, okay. I
He
thought
said
you
he
were
has
telling me I go
no,
for Trump.
experience. I'm like,
I
well,
always
him and
like
the
to know-
president have something in common.
Oh, okay. Never
I always
mind.
like to
But that
know
could be a-
I
why.
thought you were taking a dig at me again for
Like,
some reason.
No.
Okay.
Why do you like Trump? I'm not going to say anything contrary to that, but why do you like Trump?
Are you asking me why I like Trump?
Yeah.
I just feel like I've made more money. I feel like he's done things better. He brought peace to the Middle East. I feel like people hate him just because he's Donald Trump. It sucks. I guarantee if he was somebody else and doing the things, people would be behind him, but people hate him because he's Donald Trump.
Well, he's a dickhead, dude.
Yeah, but honestly, he's done a lot of good.
He has. To me, see,
And,
dude,
I totally disagree with that. He hasn't done
I honestly think the reason people hate him is because he's Donald Trump.
Right.
No.
That's only the second reason. That's the second reason.
reason.
The first reason you don't like him is because he's a fucking lying, cheating, crooked son of a bitch. That's why.
That's Mondo's
Sorry, Roman.
honest
See,
opinion.
That's Mondo.
I have actually done business with the cocksucker. Actually, that's a good term that should be reserved if somebody has quality. He has no quality.
That's just Mondo getting emotional about it.
But you know what?
Hold on. Let Roman talk. Go ahead, Roman. I'm sorry.
All right.
We're friendly.
So,
Okay, let's talk about your wrestling career, brother.
That's better.
oh man, it hasn't been there. I haven't wrestled in probably 6 to 8 months, man.
Really? Did anybody start up running since COVID hit?
AWS has actually been up and running.
Okay, have you worked for them at all?
I know a lot of California promotions are up and running.
All right, and you haven't worked for any of these companies?
I'm not working at all.
At all.
No shit.
At all.
Are you
just
training?
Barely. I've been back in the ring 3 days.
Okay, are you training right now?
No. I actually I stepped down as head trainer for Cactus League Wrestling and gave it up to Matt Havoc.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So he's been training, but Flip Gordon, if you know who Flip Gordon is, he's one of my he's a really good friend of mine. So he's like, you better get your ass back in the gym. You better get back training. So I've been back in the gym about 3 days. But Ryan, if you saw me right now, you'd be like, what the fuck, bro?
Oh, you should see Ryan.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm a big fat fuck. I'm a big fat fuck, bro.
He ate the pizza faster than I did.
Now, Flip Gordon has been a blessing. You know, he came out he actually opened the Cactus League training wrestling school with me. And we just kind of clicked, and he's been a really good friend. And actually, he's called me actually every day this week, and he's like, "Are you going to the gym?
Yeah.
Send me a picture. Send me a picture, bitch." I'm like, "God damn it!" You know, I can't bullshit.
Tell Flip I want to have him on the podcast.
I will tell him. You know,
Tell him I want to have him on the podcast.
I'll tell him.
I'll put him on in December.
Yeah, he's a really good man. He's a really good guy, man. You know, he's him and Chris Masters are like two of the guys that I've met and have always been cool.
Yeah, dude, how was meeting Chris Masters?
It was awesome, dude.
All right, if nobody knows who Chris Masters is a former WWE professional wrestler who had like one hell of a fucking physique. Like he was like Paul Orndorff of the year 2000.
He was chiseled.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, fucking Chris Masters is fucking jacked the fuck up. And the fact that he was cool enough to like befriend indie wrestlers, it says a lot about a man's character right there. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, he was so cool. Because so I wrestled him.
Did he smoke weed with everybody?
Yeah, he does.
Nice.
Well,
Nice.
he definitely did with me.
Hey,
sure.
dude, it's a shame you quit smoking weed. It's fucking legal now. What the fuck? You quit at the wrong time.
The funny thing is, I wrestled him in Colorado, right?
Right.
Me and my nephew wrestled him. So we were like, all right, because he was on our first show here in Cactus League, and he's been kind of the guy. He's been like the one guy that's always here in Cactus League. So I got told I was going to wrestle him, me and my nephew, and so we drove up there, and I had talked to Chris Evans, who he had worked with, and Evans was like, oh, yeah, he was awesome, you know. And I was like, cool. So we're driving up there, and me and Gabriel put the match together. And then we get there, and Chris is a little late, and he comes up, and he's like, hey, bros, you know, sorry I was late. And I was like, it's cool, man. We put the match together, and instantly he was like, how long have you been working? I was like, I've been working 13 years. He's like, oh, cool, man.
Nah. That's awesome.
Right away, he was like, all right, cool. And then he asked the nephew, and he's like, oh, I've been working 6 years. So he let us put the match together. And, you know, whenever he had a question, he was like, so how does that make sense? And then when we made it make sense, he was like, oh, cool. And, dude, we blazed. the entire time.
But did you win?
The entire time. No, he won. But
You gotta put the WWE guy over.
He forgot to finish.
Let's get a rematch.
He forgot to finish, so...
No, shut the fuck up. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I swear to God.
Was he that high?
Yeah, he was so high. So he hits the spine buster on the nephew, and he's feeding around, and I'm supposed to hit the spine buster on him. So he hits the spine buster on the nephew, and as he's feeding around, he's like, "What's next?" And as he's asking, I hit the spine buster, and the professional that he is, he took it. And as we bump, he's like, "Oh, that was awesome."
Nice.
Then he remembers, and we go to the back, and he's like, we're sitting there back in the back with Kevin Cross, and he's like, "Cross, Roman just hit me with a shoot spine buster. It was awesome."
That's
and
nice.
He's like, I forgot to finish, but yeah, he hit the spine buster, and he's like, "So Roman, that tells you how much of a professional I am. How high did I get up?" And I was like, "That's probably the best spine buster I ever gave, man."
Nice, dude. I love it when indie guys like us have that chance to be in with a WWE guy, and we have a great story from it. Like I gotta tell my little story before we end up. All right, I got to work Big Vito. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Were you there for that?
EXW. I came into EXW, that infamous night.
Right.
With us.
Right.
So that was the night. Remember, they told us all what had happened. So I came in just after the Vito stuff.
Right. Well, did you see the match I had with Vito?
Yes, of course. That's where you got your fucking singlet.
Dude, I can't believe everybody was in the back waiting for me when I got out the fucking curtain. That was fucking weird. Like, I had never experienced anything like that.
I love you so much, bro.
Aw, bro, thank you, man. I appreciate that. He
He
ball tapped me when he pinned me?
He what?
He ball tapped me when he pinned me.
Oh, fuck.
It was like, good job, kid.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. So
Okay, so he hits, here's the finish.
See, I've done teabagging.
He hits the swinging DDT.
Oh, okay.
Dude, check it out. He put me over by hitting me with his finisher twice to beat me.
Ouch.
Right? So I take the second swinging DDT, and then he fucking goes to pin me and smacks me right on the cock and nuts, dude. And then grabs my leg and covers me.
That's fucked up.
And I'm looking up at him and I'm like, "Thank you." And he just smiles. He looks down. He's like, "Good job, kid." And then we got to the back, and then what he said in front of everybody to me was, I'm not going to toot my horn and tell everybody what he said, but what he said to everybody about me was like, "Oh my God, dude, like if it wasn't a room full of guys, I would have had a fucking boner." It was fucking amazing.
You heard the man's hand.
So,
hey, you remember all those lucha shows, right? I had with
yeah.
Wait, don't wrestlers wear cups?
So it's funny. I had told Masters that he would love Flip Gordon, and I told Flip Gordon that he would love Masters. And literally, I had a phone conversation with Flip Gordon yesterday, and then he was like, "So you know how you told me I would always love Chris?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I met him in Barbados." Oh. And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Bro, both of us were like, Roman said we would be best friends, and because they're both fucking 420 friendly."
Yep.
So yeah, so both of them met in Barbados and are homies now.
Nice.
Yeah. So Flip.
Roman, I want to wrap it up, man.
Let's wrap it up,
brother. Thank you for coming on the show. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. We're going to stop the recording and hold on to the line so we can say our proper goodbye to you.
For sure.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot.
Oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next segment of the Two Stone Dudes podcast. This is your co-host, Ryan Castle, with
Rob the Night
and Mondo.
Hey.
All right. So we're going to give our comments and thoughts on Roman's story and his thoughts and views politically. Obviously, politically, everybody in this room isn't a fan of his beliefs, but still we kind of jumped on him too, which wasn't all that cool. We were barking at him like dogs, and we shouldn't have had to do that.
I agree.
But he took it like a champ on the chin.
It got serious.
And he was still nice. Yeah, everybody got passionate. The fact of the matter is, Roman will tell you right now, he doesn't know a lot about politics. He really doesn't have a clue. He just saw something that he liked in Trump and wanted to vote for him because, and that might be the mentality of a lot of people. So and that's understandable. I completely understand because some people are the same way about Biden. Some people don't know a fucking thing about Biden, but they're voting for him because he's not Trump.
People have heroes in different shape, way, and forms.
Right.
There are lots
So
of people that did that.
now, as far as his possession is concerned,
It's okay.
like that seriously sounds like I love him to death, and I'm not going to say he's full of shit, but that seriously sounds like something right out of Supernatural. That does sound like something right out of the fucking show Supernatural. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I've been around those things for many years.
Right.
And
Ditto.
yeah, and I had my own bout with my own personal demons
Right.
that I conjured up out of my own head.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had to do a devotion to Oshun.
Mike, talk a little bit more this way.
I had to do a devotion to Oshun. Okay. That was how I got rid of what I was going through. It wasn't like demons. It was just being fucking twisted up psycho mage.
Right.
And so, yeah. And people, I was being invisible about half the time. People couldn't see me. I'd be around and people couldn't see me.
Wow.
And I was getting very homicidal. Wow. And I was like, yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And it was, oh yeah. And I was like,
I was blowing up 100 times of being ignored.
I was blowing up some shit with my psyche.
Wow.
And it was, here's the thing though. I knew it was fucked up. It was causing me a lot of anxiety. I got some help. Mm. And then that came out of it and I did that devotion. And,
see?
Yeah. Because I had to realize that I was the master of my own universe.
Yes.
No one else's but my universe.
Right.
Then everything's cool.
Right.
Right on. Well,
I have a little short exposure to the phenomenon and the beyond.
Okay.
And holy crap and all that jazz.
Okay.
I was about 3 years old. And my mom was going to night school. And, everyone's got relatives they don't like. And one of our cousins, right? We call it cousin, but it's like a family friend. But deeply on the Spanish side.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. They got what we call like brujo, like voodoo and black magic and all that. We got those relatives going on. And they can cook food too.
Yeah.
But
they got that Santeria recipe.
Oh yes. But so the family cuz bought me a ring to wear. 3-year-old kid, we have a little pinky ring or the little bracelet for blessings, when you're born and stuff like that. So I was given this little ring to wear. I'm 3 years old. And I was wearing it cool. I liked it. It had my initial on it, the letter R. So it was cool, I'm 3 years old, that was my first piece of jewelry. And I had it on. I had wore it every day and stuff like that. It was real gold. I didn't have to worry about removing it or anything like that. So my mom was like, oh, that was nice. It was nice of your cousin, blah, blah, blah. A week later, I got sick. Like fever, sick, sweaty, cold. They thought it was the flu. And saw some doctors, because back then insurance was decent, back in the 80s. So we went to some doctors, and they said I'm perfectly healthy. They don't know what's going on. So after a while, my grandmother stepped in. And my grandmother, we call her Tata. In a way, that means nice old lady.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So,
nice.
And naturally, I called her that, Tata. Yeah. I had no record how it came to be. She's like, oh, he knows. So Tata stepped in, and she's like, Niño, ¿qué pasó? What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with my son? And she picked me up. She gave me a hug. She had like this feathery thing. She had some beads. She said some stuff in Latin, Spanish. When I'm saying Latin, I mean from like 1873 Latin. That's the closest that you could probably find in the museum. And then the Spanish and the little European. She was very vocal with some words. I was scared, but I was also feeling sick and had 105 temperature. Mm-hmm. And I was in a bathtub full of ice as a 3-year-old kid. Mm. Very scary. She witnessed the ring on my left hand. And my hand was kind of swollen. But as a kid, you don't really notice those things, and neither does your parents, because you're chunky as 3 years old still. You got chubby cheeks. They're like, oh yeah, Mia was so cute. And
Tom,
she looked at it.
Little guy getting all
it's
over
funny,
the place.
and it didn't want to come off.
Yeah.
She wet my hand. I'm in ice. I'm in water. She put lotion, bail, spit on it a few times, brought some smoke. She did something. She brought in the chicken, cut the head off, said some things, sprayed blood in the room.
shut the fuck
I'm
up.
fucking serious.
No,
I swear.
That's it.
I swear.
That's
Trust
crazy.
me. It goes real crazy. This is
throwing
why
back.
I was a believer at a very young age.
Right.
Shit does happen in between. There is such of a gray area in anything.
Right.
I'll tell you about the black chicken.
But she closed her eyes. She put my left hand in between both of her hands. I would say she was praying, but it wasn't anything familiar that I recognized, of course, because I'm 3, of course. And then she started rubbing my hand, and then she actually slaps my hand, and it hurt. The ring breaks off me. It broke off my finger.
Wow.
I slept for most of the day, of the whole next day. But within like a month, it's like it never happened.
Wow. No shit. So how do you remember it?
I'm 3 years old. I still remember shit. I remember being in the push cart going to the store. And I know Grandma used to keep her change purse in her bra when I want something. That was my candy.
That's funny. That's funny.
True story. True
So
story.
I want to give an announcement to our listeners. We are about to be sponsored by an unlikely person. Mr.
Why unlikely?
Mr. Bill Penza, staunch right-wing Republican,
Bill.
who we definitely do not see eye to eye with on politics, but
We're all human beings.
we do have the same set of morals and values.
Yes.
And the things that drive us in life. And the love for family.
Damn right.
And the importance of friendship. And just generally how to be a good person to other people and just not be an asshole. Like, we believe in all the same shit. We just happen to like 2 different people. And he liked our show so much that he's got his own fabrication and welding company, which we will be running ads on this podcast a lot.
Great ads.
Great ads, all made up by us.
Hell yeah.
And they're going to be real simple, man. And then we're going to get things rolling within the next week or so. And that'll be one of our first proud sponsors in a long line.
Yeah, we got to get
of many more to come after that.
I'll even wear a bow tie for the meeting. We'll have a sit down, get everything together.
Right.
Shake hands like men.
Right.
Right.
And you know what? Me and Rob are still going to keep our jobs, and so is Mondo.
Mondo,
we're actually all going to keep our jobs. Like, we
we're
technically
not
don't
gonna
need
stop
to.
working.
Right.
Yeah, don't say we don't need to.
Well,
come on.
technically, we wouldn't have to.
You know,
I'm just saying,
in the
need
way
and want to, need and have to are 2 different things.
we can't go ghost when it comes to the government workforce,
right,
and do our own thing.
Right. We can become our own boss.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yes.
But you know, I like where we're employed. I do. I like the company we work for. I believe in it. I think it's doing good things. And, you know, that company's a real big believer in second chances of other people.
I don't like them.
Okay.
Okay. Why don't you like them?
Well, right now it's agree to disagree.
Right.
I had my own thing with them, but you
kind of got fucked.
Yeah,
you kind of got fucked.
But out of all things, the positive thing, the number one thing, I still have a job.
True.
Regardless if they don't like me, I like them, whatever, vice versa. I keep it professional as much as I can.
Right.
And I go do my job and I go home.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's really all they need.
That's all they need. If they want a little more, pay more. If not, this is what you're gonna get.
Right.
The personality thing can be not necessary.
Things are changing. Things are happening. Who knows? No one might not have a job in the next 3 months or so. Everything could be just shut down. Who knows?
Right. And then, you know what? This is a great time to take advantage of the situation because people might not be able to go out because that's what Biden said. He's going to fucking put a mandatory lockdown on us. And what do you call it? People are going to need something to do and some kind of entertainment, and we're going to be there for them.
Oh, I got to throw in something for the teachers out there in the educational system and all that. You were right. See, we've told them, keep the schools closed. Do they listen? No. Dumbasses.
Who always brought the flu home? That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand. When kids used to get lice and ticks, you go to home, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So why... You understand where I'm going with this, right?
Yes.
Covert. But no,
Right.
if you wear a mask, you're fine. No, it was all about money. It wasn't about the kids' well-being. It's about money. I gotta go to work. We fully understand that.
Right.
But to get mad about it, no.
Yeah.
Speak to your government.
Well,
officials
the whole
about it.
thing, look at the whole folly in the whole thing. If schools are now daycare,
Ugh.
instead of being educational institutions, what they're designed for. And when I went to public school, that's what it was.
Yeah.
We got a good education.
I
did in public school. Yeah,
Yeah,
high school was great too.
Our local radio station, Mike,
Yeah,
had 98 KUPD.
yeah.
By the way, I love Brady Bogan and John Holmberg are fucking two
Okay.
awesome guys. Anyway,
Okay.
they had I totally forgot what the fuck we were talking about.
We're still
All
stoned.
of a sudden,
What were we
in
talking
radio. All of a sudden, we're in radio.
Wait, what were we talking about?
We were just talking about the education system.
Education.
Okay,
And how kids. Here's the thing.
They're
I think that the
victims.
big problem is
It's
that
not so-
people have become dependent on the school system for daycare.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm looking at them going, you motherfucker.
And it's
It
entirely
should
the
be
government's
about
fault.
now. The people that have money, their kids are going to get in school.
Well, they can afford
That's-
tutors.
They are. They're getting tutored, and they're
Yeah.
getting, it's the kids that can't get a Wi-Fi feed. They can't get an internet feed. They
Right.
don't have anything to get a feed.
There were clips and videos and
Right.
on television of
Oh,
kids
they-
using going outside of
you
a
know,
fast food restaurant to use the Wi-Fi.
I took
to
video.
use that laptop that wasn't
I took
accessible,
video and
accessible at the
classes
time to
online.
get their homework
I
done.
did really well.
It's crazy.
They're really good. Classes online, I did really well. But you got to be able to get it.
Yeah,
And that's what the problem is.
yeah.
And it's not, no, shutting down and doing it right works. But you don't do it for a year. You do
Right.
it for like 2 months
Right.
at the
We
most.
should all become Canadian.
They won't let us in anymore. Did you know that?
Oh, he remembers.
I remember now. Okay, so this lady whose husband works the radio station had her third graders sending letters to the troops.
Okay.
So
Oh,
Holmberg
like pen
read the
pals.
letters
Okay.
on the air live,
Okay.
and they were fucking horrific.
They were horrific?
Like spelling didn't make letters the right direction.
Well, yeah.
Oh, how old were the kids?
Yeah.
Third grade.
Third grade, and they couldn't
Ooh,
write.
Not too good. That's
No, this is a
yeah.
Mesa public school system.
And Mesa, too, used to be a great school system.
Yeah.
Used to be.
So that's some shit right there.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
Now, what if the rest of the country's like that? I don't know. I got an education in Northeast. So
Yeah.
we're expected to have a
There's
decent
good
education
schools
system.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to Texas, the grade point thing, I don't know what it was, but I had a higher grade point average than everybody in the school or some shit like that because of where I came from. I only had to take 2 electives when I got there. It was weird.
Yeah.
Just because of the difference in the
Right.
education system.
Right.
You know what
Oh,
I mean?
it is. Very different.
And then when I came, I went from a C and D student in New Jersey
Right.
to an A and B student
Right.
in Texas,
Texas. Right.
to a straight A student in Arizona.
Right.
I got straight A's when I moved here.
Where did you go
I
to
went to
school?
Mountain Ridge in the first year it opened.
Oh, there. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it was
saying.
horrible. I was a cokehead. It was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
And I
right.
still-
Yeah, it's great.
ridiculous. I was fucking homeless the last 6 months. No, last 5 months of my senior year, I was
Mhm.
fucking homeless, and I still graduated.
Mm.
And went to the
Sounds
Marine Corps
about right.
afterwards.
Well, see, in New York, we
So-
had 3 ways of education. You go to a Jewish school where you learn everything the right way.
Yeah.
Or you go to a private school, Catholic school, where they teach you their way. Or you
Right.
go to the regular school that you could be 16 years old, and when you look at the date on your textbook, it says 1987 on it.
Oh, wow.
That's how I learned.
Wow.
And actually learned from all 3.
Ah,
So,
no shit.
thank you to my Machaim, to my
Yeah.
relatives back in New York. I'm serious. Hey, they told me how to make a good bagel.
Oh,
There
gee.
you go.
decent bagel. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's-
making fun of
that's
Jews.
high level.
Trust me.
That's
Trust
high
me.
level education, though.
You
You're
guys
right.
know, my first job was at a Jewish market. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
one of the people who owned an apartment, they saw how hard work I was as a young kid. I used to walk dogs. I used to help people cross the street. I used to make my money as a kid. And I was a handball player too, so I made my money on the side about that. He goes, "You got a job?" I go, "No." He goes, "What's your name?" I go, "Robert." He goes, "I got a store. I got a job for you." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Come to my store." And then
I got
boom.
a job for you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
He was very old school.
Okay.
I made friends with his nephew. His nephew right now is a bartender, and he works for a dispensary in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. So he's handling his business.
Oh, dude, weed's legal here now.
Not yet.
Everything ain't going to start
March.
March.
Okay, check that out. March 19th.
I assume that everyone here is a card-carrying member.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Well, then weed is legal for us.
It's
Right,
been, but
right.
We still got
It's like we don't have to renew our cards or anything anymore.
Okay, there's positives and
No,
negatives
but
to it.
we might, because what if we get like decent discounts when it really...
Oh, then I'll
Well,
keep
here's
it.
the thing.
Yeah.
Here's how it usually
it
works.
might say Walmart on it,
Usually
too.
works like this, because I went to California and they recognized my card. This is before it was totally legal.
Okay.
Anyway, so when you're legal medical, you get better quality weed. I don't care where you go. If you go Nevada, if you go California, if after it's legal here, the best weed will be available.
So do they do
To
separate?
us.
Do they do? They are going to separate it
Well,
then?
shit, that's why I go to Napa to
Sure.
get my wine.
Okay. So they're going to be like, this is the stuff you can't have
Go to a
because it's for
source.
medical patients. This is the stuff you can't. I don't
Well,
think they're
you
gonna
won't even
separate
know
it like
that. It'll
dude.
just be, here's the medical side.
Mm.
That's what
I don't
it's
think
gonna
they're going to do that. That's not.
They do it everywhere else. I don't know
Really?
why they wouldn't do it here. Sure.
All right,
Because we get to
hopefully
buy-
we adopt those.
We get to buy better quality for less.
You think it is better quality?
I know it is.
Okay. All right. Cool.
We're getting like this weed that we smoked tonight. This is excellent quality. This
Well,
is
I'm
probably
not even
30%.
fucking high.
I say it's decent.
That's pretty.
It's got to be my medication, dude. I'm not even high anymore.
Well, see, here's the whole
It's
thing.
ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I only smoke.
We need to fix that.
I don't
I need to
smoke all
not
day.
smoke for a week.
What's
What?
that?
I need to not smoke for a week.
How do you
Okay.
not?
I
Release?
need to not smoke for a week and see if that's the reason
Do
why.
it.
Just
Well,
as an experiment.
I got a plan for you. You don't have to
I
adopt
say
it, but
just
here's
look
what
at
I
the
would
ingredients
suggest.
here, you know.
Whenever you feel like maybe I should not smoke any weed today, don't smoke any weed that day.
I always
Yeah,
feel
just-
like I should smoke
And then
that
wait,
day. I'm a pothead.
then wait till it gets really bad and you really, really want to smoke the weed. If you want to stay off it for longer, then you got to tough it through. And you tough it through.
You gotta weigh the balance because you're still vaping.
You just tough it through. Because you know
Right,
what?
right.
At the end of about a week ago, I didn't smoke weed for a week. And you'll smoke weed and I go, man, and you'll get fucked up.
Ooh,
And I'm smoking concentrates, and I'll tell you what, that shit's powerful.
I have
And
an
I-
idea now
what?
for you.
What?
Yeah,
And
but it's very
it's
short lived.
Also beneficial for you as well. Anytime you feel like you want to smoke, do 10 push-ups.
That's a good way too.
That way you like, I want
That
to,
is.
but then you don't want to do the fucking push-ups.
Well, no.
It'll get you motivated somehow, man.
That way, I mean, if I do the push-ups, that's like a little treat for me that I did the push-ups.
Yeah.
That's a reward.
Okay.
It is.
Do
And
20.
actually, if you look at it that way, that's
Yeah,
a good
I can't
way.
do
Yeah.
push-ups right now.
A lot of people have done
You
it
get
that
where I'm
way.
going with it, though.
Yeah, I get where you're going with it.
I remember a guy that
You
did
like,
that.
oh shit.
I knew a guy
Okay.
that did that with
Fat
smoking
Right,
Cigarette.
you be
cigarettes.
punching your own
Fat,
titties. You be
lazy
punching your
mess right now.
titties. Like, yeah.
Seriously, and I got them right now too. I'm like holding a C cup right now. It's horrible,
Oh,
but it's ridiculous.
yeah.
But
Shit.
and my fucking mouth hurts from getting my tooth pulled. So I'm a
You're a
fucking mess
C
right
cup
now.
and your mouth hurts.
You know, I tell you what.
This is not going good for you
I'm
right now.
complaining about dumb shit right now, but I'll tell you what. Honestly, this is the best.
Oh,
Don't fall, dude.
No, I forgot
Are you
my
really
shit.
that high?
I completely forgot the chair is
You
not
are
right.
that high.
you
Then.
didn't have a back on the chair.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I'm completely all the way up
Alright.
front and I lean
He was
back.
taking.
I
he
need to
was-
take more drags off.
was
of
just
this.
some
This is
seesaw.
ridiculous.
It was
We're
on-
almost out of
seesaw.
time.
I'm just
and-
in a moment of the giggles.
That's it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Two Stone Dudes podcast. This is your host, Ryan Castle, along with Rob the Nod and Mondo Humunculero. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you this coming Monday night or Tuesday morning.